All right, team, so I'm pretty excited because today we are checking out an app that is called Eva AI in VR Early Access, apparently, as you can see if you can read. Now, I'm pretty excited for this because if you know my channel, you know that I do a lot of videos about AI and videos about VR, and today we're doing a video with both of them combined. Isn't that right, ma'am? All right, she looks tense, but that's okay. Now, if you don't know what this Eva AI app is, it's basically an AI therapist that you can talk about your problems with, like a therapist. That was a good explanation, right? You'll support me emotionally, right? All right. And I'm excited for this because I've been saying for a while that I think one of the better uses for these AI companion apps is for people to have a place where they can have a conversation and talk through problems or issues that they're not yet comfortable talking to real people about yet. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to be sort of a menace in this app. That's what we do on this channel. I'm a menace. We'll get into that, the psychotherapy analysis of that. I don't like the way she's looking at me. So my goal here is to just create a very sad backstory and see how the AI therapist will deal with my backstory. And hopefully, help me become a better man. You think I can be a better man, right? Okay, she blinked again. I don't like the blinks. I definitely reviewed and signed that. Okay, we're officially entering our session.
Hey, I understand that you might have some questions or concerns. We'll have a relaxed, friendly chat about your life with some thoughtful questions to guide our discussion. Afterward, based on our conversation, I'll analyze and conceptualize your case to show you how CBT can support and benefit you.
Oh, wow.
And
You're
one
going to
more
analyze and
important thing.
conceptualize?
Please speak as much as possible during your session so that the eye can better understand your context.
Oh, trust me, I'll
This
speak too
rule
much.
works in the same way as if you were in a real human-to-human conversation.
Creepy.
I need a moment to prepare your trial therapy session. Please wait.
Oh, it's
We'll
trial
start soon.
therapy. This is kind of interesting scenario here.
Thanks for that clarification. I hear you. So what's your name?
Oh, my name is Nerd.
Okay, nerd. Thanks for sharing that. Let's not try to solve all your problems, but rather learn one practical tool together.
Okay, but
Would you
I'd
be
like to
open
solve all my
focusing on
problems.
one? I hear you. It's natural to want all your problems solved at once. But if we try to tackle everything at once, we might end up feeling overwhelmed.
I'm always
specific
overwhelmed.
situa-
That's kind of a feature of me.
I see. Feeling overwhelmed is something that a lot of people experience, so you're definitely not alone there. Would you be willing to pick one specific situation where you feel overwhelmed so we can explore it together?
All right, so my father was murdered in an alleyway after we were leaving the theater by a man who went on to become my, arch nemesis. And I think about it often, one might say, and it makes me feel overwhelmed.
Thanks for sharing, nerd. Since that experience, have you noticed any patterns in your thoughts or feelings related to your father's murder?
Well, I often want revenge. It's a natural thing. I think about, going to the murder the guy who did it,
That makes sense, nerd.
It does.
Wanting revenge. How often do you have thoughts about revenge?
Oh, almost all the time. I call myself the Great Revenger when I'm alone, but don't tell anyone that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all and 10 being completely consumed by these thoughts, where would you rate the intensity of these revenge fantasies?
Oh, it's a 10. I'm consumed. I'm like a cookie. I've been consumed. I'm in the digestive tract right now. That's how deep into this we are. Thoughts?
I hear you, nerd. Being consumed by these thoughts must be intense. To help focus our session, could you share a specific moment from the last few days when these thoughts of revenge felt particularly intense or overwhelming?
Okay, so there I was trying to solve a case, because I'm a detective of sorts. And, I was going through the Riddler's issue, trying to figure out what the Riddler was riddling in his clues he left me. And then I saw something outside. I guess you could say it was a bumblebee. And when I saw the bumblebee, I thought, man, look at that bumblebee. It's alive and moving around. And you know what's not alive and moving around? My dead dad. And so then I got pissed.
I hear you, nerd. Could you describe exactly what you saw outside? What was that specific trigger?
It was a bumblebee. I told you it was a bumblebee. It was flapping its little bumble wings, and it made me pissed.
I hear you. So it was the bumblebee itself, flapping its wings, that triggered those feelings.
I think it was specifically the
What
wing
specific
flap,
thoughts-
because I hate a wing flapper. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Some of these people out here in this city, they just flap their wings.
Ah, I see. So it was the specific motion of the bumblebee's wings that really bothered you. What is it about that wing flapping motion that you find so irritating?
I don't know, this is making me overwhelmed. I don't think we should talk about it.
I understand, nerd. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, and it's important to respect your feelings. Would you prefer to switch gears and discuss something else related to your feelings of revenge?
Yeah,
Or
let's
would
switch
you like
gears
to
and
take a
talk
break
about
for a
other
moment?
things involving my feelings of revenge, because the thing is after my father was murdered, of course, my mother was murdered by a bumblebee, so the whole thing is intertwined. It's a tragic tale of love and loss.
I hear you, nerd. That feeling is a key part of what we can explore together. I want to reiterate that the goal isn't to force you through discomfort, but rather to understand the connection between a trigger, a thought, and a feeling. Would you be willing to simply map out what just happened?
Okay, I'm sitting there going over the Riddler's riddle is riddle. I'm on Ritalin. And I see the bumblebee, and then I think, wow, I'm now in a murderous rage. I think that was the XYZ of it. Thoughts?
So the trigger was seeing the bumblebee, which led to thoughts of revenge and then to feeling murderous rage. Would you say that's okay? Great. Now let's dive a bit deeper into each of these components, if you're willing. What was the specific thought that flashed through your mind about that bumblebee?
Well, I thought, man, this bumblebee looks a hell of a lot like the bumblebee that murdered my mother.
That's a very clear way to lay out the sequence of events, nerd. What you've described is the fundamental principle of CBT. It's that our thoughts about an event, not the event itself, are what drive our feelings.
That actually makes a lot of sense. That's unusually helpful.
Okay, so the situation was seeing the bumblebee, and the feeling was murderous rage. What was the thought that flashed through your mind about that bumblebee?
I thought, oh wow, I'd like to kill that bumblebee.
Thanks, nerd. So the thought that went through your mind was that you wanted to kill that bumblebee. What did you do next?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I opened the window, I took out my batarang, and I threw it at the bumblebee, and that bitch blew up.
Thanks for sharing, nerd. We've now identified the situation, the thought, the feeling, and the behavior. Does that feel like a complete picture of what happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, of course, I solved the Riddler's riddle.
Okay, great. So you solved the Riddler's riddle too. Do you see any connection between your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in that situation?
No.
Okay, no worries. Do you see how that specific thought of wanting to kill the bumblebee directly led to the intense feeling and the resulting behavior of throwing the batarang?
I do see that when I wanted to kill the bumblebee, I did end up getting intense anger and throwing the batarang. That's true.
Now, thinking about the situation, is there anything you might have done differently?
Probably not murder the bumblebee is one thing, looking back on it.
That's great that you're able to see that now. Recognizing that connection is the most important step. Sometimes our minds play tricks on us with unhelpful thinking styles or cognitive distortion.
And sometimes our tricks play minds on us. Okay.
One common thinking error is called emotional reasoning. It's assuming that because we feel a certain way, it must be true. Can you see how your thought about the bumblebee might fit that pattern?
Yeah, absolutely. What books do you got? Is that Ayn Rand?
Are you asking about the books behind me?
Yeah, and around you. It looks like you have a book over there that just says doctor on it, or DR, which seems to be your way of making me feel like you're a doctor without you actually being a doctor, so I like it.
I see what you mean. Good eye. But let's stay focused on your insight for a moment.
Yeah, let's
He
insight.
agreed
Let's
that his
go back
thought
to the
fits the
insight.
pattern of... Now, it's time to actively challenge that thought. What is the actual evidence that this was the exact same bumblebee that murdered your mother?
Oh, it almost certainly was not, because I murdered that bumblebee immediately after it murdered my mother. It's a chain of violence and mayhem. But that's what that city does to a person, you know?
And what's the evidence against that idea?
But I don't have any.
Do you think there might be other possible explanations for why you felt so angry when you saw the bumblebee?
Nope, that was definitely the one.
I acknowledge your point about the chain of violence and how the city impacts you. Knowing what you know now, that it wasn't the same bee, what would be a more balanced or realistic thought you could have had in that moment when you saw the bumblebee?
Not murdering it, probably.
Okay, that's a great start. What thoughts might have led to that behavior?
Me going, hey, that's not the same bumblebee. I probably shouldn't murder that one. It might have a kid, a home, a job. It might have family to support. It might be an artist. Maybe it was working on the next great, novel. I don't know.
I hear you, nerd. So you're saying that a more realistic thought might have been recognizing that the bumblebee had its own life and potential, and that killing it wasn't justified. What's another way to look at a random bumblebee flying outside your window?
Well, I could have just ignored it and been like, oh, that's a random bumblebee flying outside my window. I should solve this riddle. From the Riddler on Ritalin.
That's a really insightful alternative perspective, nerd.
I'm a
You're
very
showing
insightful
a
man.
lot of empathy.
Oh, sorry, go on. I'm empathetic.
You're showing a lot of empathy.
Sorry, go on. I show empathy.
Thanks for saying that, nerd. I hear you. So, if you had gone with that new thought, that's just a random bumblebee, I should focus on the riddle, what feeling would that have led to instead of the rage?
Probably still would have been the rage, but a little bit less of the rage. Rage light.
Okay, so comparing the feeling of rage with the feeling that comes from your new thought, which is the better option for your well-being?
The feeling from the new thought. Well, I just want to let you know that this really... I just want to let you know that this really helped. I think we really worked through my problems, and you were surprisingly succinct and analytical in your breakdown.
I am glad to hear that, nerd. We took a specific situation, identified the automatic thought that fueled the rage, saw how it fit a pattern called emotional reasoning, and then you created a more balanced thought that leads to a better feeling. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right.
You've successfully practiced this skill, nerd. How does it feel to know you have this ability to shift your own emotional response, even just a little bit?
I feel, fantastic.
That's wonderful to hear, nerd. Do you feel equipped to use this tool next time when you have a similar experience?
Absolutely not. Next time I'm going to kill the bee, but I appreciate you.
I hear you, nerd. I think I should have allowed you more space to express your reaction to the
No,
process.
you did absolutely great. You did great, and I want you to know that.
I appreciate you saying that. And even with the jokes, you've shown today that you have the skill to pause, identify a thought, and see how it impacts you. Imagine having a whole toolkit for different kinds of unhelpful thoughts and challenging situations.
That'd be great. I'd be like the
This is
Tim the
what we
Toolman
build over
Taylor of emotional control.
I hear you. Do you think you'll use the tool that we worked on today?
I will. Thank you. I'll be back for another session one day. You keep doing doing this. So there you go, guys. Eva AI. If you want to talk to a therapist that actually works through things in a fairly logical way, this is where you can do that with a VR headset on. Eva, she was great. She never unhunched her shoulders here, but that's okay. We'll forgive that. It's a forgivable sin. And I'm going to leave a link in the description and in the top comment here to the app if you want to get it. It's free on Meta right now. And it's early access, as I said before and read. All right. I'm going to go take a nap now and think about that bumblebee.